Hello and welcome to today's demonstration within Dynamics 365 for Finance and Operations, covering Discuss 365 by HSO. Our agenda for today will see us exploring the challenge of sharing Dynamics 365 data with colleagues in a timely and efficient manner for discussion, understanding the potential pitfalls of some of the standard approaches that could be taken. We'll then take a look at Discuss 365 by HSO, an elegant and efficient solution supporting contextual business-related discussion. We will then have a demonstration of Discuss 365 in action, and then we'll cover some of the core setup areas within Dynamics 365 driving Discuss 365. We will first just take a quick look at some of the standard functionality to share data within Dynamics 365. So here we are within Dynamics 365. I'm just going to hit the menu, go to All Customers, and then I'm going to select a specific customer. I'd like to share that customer record, so I need to come up here to get a link. I need to just select that link and copy it, and then I need to just drop that into an email, type my email out. So here we go. Please check the credit limit, and then please can you check the credit limit against this account, and then I can put the link in and then click the send button. So that's me sending it in an email, but actually I'd like to send it in Teams as well. So I come into Teams, again I just need to choose my recipient. Once we've got our recipient, then again I can type in, please can you check the credit limit against this account, and then I can put the link in. So that's great. I've sent the link. It's a pretty ugly looking link, but also I've had to carry out two separate tasks, and they are both notifications outside of Dynamics 365. And again, I've got no history of what I've actually sent, other than perhaps going to Teams and having a look, or going to email and having a look. So there's no continuation of the discussion there, and it is a little bit disjointed. And so we've had a look at some of the standard features within Dynamics 365. Let's now explore Discuss 365 by HSO. Discuss 365 is a contextual and efficient internal business communication solution. This is an example of a customer record, and we can see here that we have a new tab, Discussion. We've got this Discuss button, which when we click opens up and shows us the discussion history concerning that specific account. So in this example we can see a discussion history where a request was made to double check the credit status of the specific account. We can also see then that in this example an email has been sent to the person responsible for double checking, also automatically attaching the example contract with a direct link that takes you into the record itself or into the chat so that you can respond. In addition, we can see that we also send notifications directly within Dynamics 365 in the Action Center. And again, you've got the context of the account concerned with an ability to jump directly to the detail of that account or to reply to the chat. And then we've got integration with Microsoft Teams as well. So we can send messages via Teams, again to direct the person responsible to the correct area within the system. Okay, so let's look at our demonstration scenario for today. Simon is the CFO for Acme Manufacturing Corporation. Whilst using some of the AI features of Dynamics 365 to review credit and collections risk, Simon identifies a specific customer as presenting a risk of bad debt due to a recently defaulted payment. Taking prudent action, Simon uses Discuss 365 to quickly and efficiently advise Vibal, the credit control manager, to alter the credit limit of the customer concerned. Vibal carries out this action, confirming back to Simon using the Discuss 365 framework that the risk has been mitigated and the potential exposure reduced. So here I am within Dynamics 365 in the shoes of the CFO Simon. I'm looking at a specific account here, so I can see that MBCS has a poor credit rating, often paying late, and recently defaulted on an invoice for $127,000. We can see that they have a credit limit of 3.5 million, so we do have quite a significant potential exposure here. So I'd like to take some action. So to do that, I'm going to perform a right click and view details to take me directly to the customer account. Against that customer account then, I'm going to drop into Discuss, and I'm going to send a notification through to our credit control manager. So here we are, I'm selecting that credit control manager, and then I'm just going to drop in the detail, basically asking the credit control manager to change the credit limit. I'm also going to attach the contract. So I select attachments, attach file, I quickly just browse to the location of that example contract, and then I simply just click the send button. Now I'm going to step into the shoes of the credit control manager. We can see that I've received a notification here. So I can open up the Action Center. I can see the message sent from Simon through to Vibal, the credit control manager, expressing concern about that specific account. Now Vibal can jump directly to that specific account by clicking View Details, and we can see that we've gone directly to that account. He can click Discuss, and he can see the discussion history. In addition, because of the setup here, if we were just to have a look in Vibal's email, we can see that he has also received an email with the example contract attached, and again the detail of the message that Simon sent through. Additionally, a message has been sent through into Teams as well. So again, we can see the detail of that Teams message that has been sent through to Vibal. So Vibal, within Dynamics 365 itself, elects to go to that specific credit limit field, and then comes on down and changes things. He then saves that information. We can see there is a proposed change with a workflow. So Vibal submits this to the workflow so that we can get the necessary approval for that change. We can also see against the customer account that the change is just pending approval by the necessary authority. If we fast forward a little, we can see that that change has now been actioned. So Vibal returns into the Discuss area, and he sends the message through to Simon, and we can see the message that is sent back, and then again Vibal sends that message through, and again Simon is working within Dynamics 365. He receives a notification, and then we can see that Vibal has sent that message confirming that the changes have been actioned. And then again, if Simon wants to just have a quick check, he can click the View Details button. This takes him directly to the customer account concerned. He can see that the credit limit has been changed, and he can also drop in and see that chronological history of the discussion that has taken place within the business. In addition, if Simon so elects, he can also receive that information again via email, so this is just that example in the email itself, or additionally in Teams. And again, here is that discussion within the Teams channel itself. So a nice end-to-end way of capturing all of that relevant business discussion in this example about a specific customer account where they haven't paid their bills on time. So let's just take a moment just to explore some of the core setup for Discuss 365 and also some of the user options, because we recognize in the demonstration that we just provided we were delivering those messages via 3 separate channels. It may be that you just elect to choose to receive those messages via one of those channels. So in terms of the core setup areas, first of all, some technical tasks that just need to be set up by one of your IT people, and that is to register the app within Microsoft Entra, formerly known as Azure. Once you've done that, you take the details of those, so the technical parameters, and you populate the HSO discussion parameters with that technical app identifier from Entra. You then populate the tables that are required for discussion, and then activate the various different communication channels within those parameters that you would like to use. And then to actually use the solution, as we've seen, you just, as an end user, navigate to the form concerned, click that discussion button, start to create the message to communicate within Dynamics, and then all of that communication through the various different delivery channels is handled automatically for you. So let's work on the basis that all of that clever technical stuff has been set up already within Azure or Entra. What we're going to do is to select the menu, come on down to HSO Discussion Parameters, and this is where you would populate the token parameters with the information from Entra or Azure. This is also where you would turn on the various different channels that you would like to allow those communications to take place. So Action Center, email, and then Teams. And then in terms of the form setup, this is essentially just where you are enabling the various different forms that you would like to turn on the discussion functionality. We can see that we point towards a specific menu item, and establishing what that menu item actually is very, very straightforward. I have a couple of examples for us. So if we just look at all customers, we can see here within the URL you've got this MI that stands for menu item, and then we can see here that the menu item is cust table list page, or perhaps for the sales order table. Again, if we just drop down, we can see the menu item MI is equal to sales table list page. So all we have to do is to come and populate the various different forms that we would like to turn on the discussion parameters for. Additionally, as an end user, we might want to tweak the way that we receive our messages, and we do that by selecting Settings, User Options, come on down to Account, and then we can see that we've got HSO Discussion, and then the various different channels with which we would like to receive our messages. So we can elect just to receive those messages via the Action Center, or via email, or via Teams, or, as I have in this example, all of them turned on. Hopefully this gives you a good understanding of the HSO Discuss365 solution and the benefits that it can bring to internal contextual communication within Dynamics 365. Thanks very much for your time and attention today.